An awesome mod unboxing for the Mercedes-Benz C300. Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive Rides. Today I'm going to do an unboxing for what I think is an awesome mod for the Mercedes C300. I'll tell you right off, it's a new grille or a new grille insert. Goes in the front of the Mercedes-Benz. Obviously, I mean, where else would you put a grille? So we're going to do an unboxing. Before we do that, let's take a look at what it currently has. Of course, right now it's basically all stock, except it has a coat of wax on it. Anyway, we have the grille up here. And of course, I'm talking about this insert piece. That's what I'm going to refer to as the grille. Now, I don't hate this, but I don't love it either. It looks pretty plain to me, so I want to jazz it up a little bit. So I'm going to pop that off, and we're going to put the new one up there in. I make it sound a lot easier than it really is. Now, to do that, just a brief overview, you really have to remove the whole front end, the whole front fascia, if you will. To do that, there's about 4 or 5 screws across the top you have to take off. There's some grommets you got to pop out in the wheel well. There's some bolts under there you got to take out. I think there's a total of 3 on each side, including 1 on each side right underneath. And then you also have to remove the cover that's underneath, the bottom engine cover, if you will. That allows you to pop the whole front end off. A pretty scary endeavor. I mean, I've seen it done. I've watched some videos, but until you do it yourself, you never know. If you screw that up, you really screw up the whole front end of the car. I mean, could you imagine driving around a Mercedes without a front fascia on it? That would look pretty tacky. So I'm going to tackle that upcoming here in the future. But for now, we're going to go ahead and show you just what it is that I got. This is a knockoff. It's not a genuine Mercedes-Benz part. Because frankly, you don't have to spend the kind of money you'd have to spend if you bought a genuine Mercedes part. This thing looks awesome, at least from what I've seen online. I popped the end open, but I've not taken it out yet. So I'm going to set you up on a tripod. We're going to pull it out of there and see if it's as great, as awesome as I think it is. Okay, let's go ahead, pop this puppy out of here. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Like I said, hopefully it's as good as I think it's going to be. Let's see, let's turn it around. I'm a righty, so I gotta have everything on the right. This is the right, by the way. I don't know how the camera picks it up. But let's see what we've got. Some packaging, of course. You want lots of that because you want it protected, right? Let's get rid of that. A little more packaging. And then, looks like the grille itself. All right, let's go ahead, get it out of here. Get rid of that box. And they have it in a plastic bag, you guys can obviously see. And then inside a foam kind of bag, it looks like. Yeah. All right. I'm looking at the back of it. Looks good from the back. Let's go ahead and pop this puppy out of here. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Exactly like I hoped it would be. I had it upside down, of course. This is going to be too cool on the front end of the car. Let me flip it around, you guys can see. I did go with the diamond pattern. By that, I mean all these little silver pieces in here are what they call the diamond pattern, I guess. Of course, I have a camera on the front, so I needed the camera bracket, if you will, up here on the top. You can get it with or without, so if you're looking at doing this yourself, make sure you get the right one. It'd be pretty disappointing if you have the whole front end of the car off and then realize you bought the wrong grille. Of course, the area here where the emblem is going to go, or the front little screw-in thing, and it does just screw in. Something I never knew until I got the Mercedes. Those things aren't held on by screws or anything. They actually just kind of screw in themselves. So that should fit, should be pretty simple to do. As far as the chrome goes, the silver. You know, if you've watched any of my other channels, particularly Rob Motive, then you know I'm not a huge fan of chrome, generally. But it kind of depends on what vehicle it is that you're driving. You know, the Mercedes, more of an upscale, classy kind of vehicle. And that's a good place to have chrome, I think. So let's go over, I'll hold it up to the front. You guys can get a general idea of what it's going to look like. Me too. And then I'll tell you about a couple of other things I have coming. Okay, let's take just a real quick look. This is what it's going to be on the front of the car. You can see it right there. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to get this on. It's going to change the whole look of the front end of the car. It should be pretty darn cool. I am going to leave, at least at this point I think, the emblem chrome like it is right now. It has that kind of glassish kind of look to it in the back. I think that'll look good on here. But that's what it's going to look like on the car. Should be pretty darn cool. Now, let's go put this thing in the box real quick to protect it, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do with the rest of the car. All right, we've got it all stowed away nice and safe. You guys can see it sitting right over there. Very important to put it back in the original box and packaging so that it doesn't get damaged, at least until I can put my hands on it and hopefully not damage it myself. Now, as far as the rest of the car, my plans at the moment. Well, we're going to replace the wheels. These are curb rashed. I've talked about that before. They've got to go. Drives me nuts. I just can't stand it. I know a lot of people would say, well, gee, whoever sees it. You certainly can't see it when you're driving down the road. Yeah, I know that, but I know it's there. So that's going to happen. I have a spoiler coming. I've talked about this before too. It's an ABS plastic black spoiler, going to go across the back here. I think it'll just make the car look even a little bit sportier than what it is. Still trying to decide on the emblem. I may replace this with a black one. I haven't decided yet. And then the biggest or next biggest thing I'm going to do, I think, is replacing, or not replacing, but wrapping all of the chrome or silver work. I'm talking about the molding around the doors, the molding around the footwell area, or the bottom side, if you will. And then also back here on the trunk, this piece back here. Again, I'm not a huge fan of chrome. A little bit is okay. It just kind of depends. And the good thing about doing wrap, if I get it on and I don't like it, it's basically just tape, so I can pull it off. Now, the interesting thing, or the challenging thing for me, is going to be putting it on. I've never done any kind of a wrap really before. I did do an emblem once for the Toyota Tacoma, the front cover over the sensor in the front, in the grille. That was a challenge. That was more of a curved surface, so it was a little difficult as far as that goes. This is pretty flat, so it should be pretty simple, I think, just to put on and then trim the edges off. I think it's going to come out pretty well. Now, I have seen other people go ahead and pull the trim, either to wrap it or to paint it. My concern in doing that is that it's such a thin piece or pieces that I'd be afraid I would damage it in doing that. And you know, if you put a crease in this stuff or bend it, number one, it's not going to go back on the way that it was, and number two, you're going to be able to see it. So this is the best solution that I can think of to get rid of the chrome look. Now, there's one other thing as far as the chrome goes, and that's the door handles. They are black on the front, but they're chrome on the top. I've considered putting covers over them or even replacing them. They're pretty easy to get out. There's just a screw. It's a Torx bit. I think it's a 30 screw that's right beyond this hole. You just loosen it, and then there's a little bracket under here that just pulls off. So it's not difficult to do. I just haven't decided if maybe that's getting rid of too much chrome, since I am going to have the silver or chrome look in the grille. Maybe it's not such a bad idea to maintain a little bit of chrome down the side. As far as the door handles go, we shall see. Other things coming too, but those are what are on the table right now. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Good changes or not so much? Leave it alone. It's just too much. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.